Mug of tea, yeah.
Mug of tea, only in the UK.
And I'm a British boy. I love my tea.
I like my coffee because I'm American.
Hey, I'll take either.
Yo, what is good? We are live. Thank you. We made it. This is Nickodemus, the king of indies himself, and this is episode 1 of the Trophy Life podcast. This is the premier podcast of all things PlayStation, ladies and gentlemen. And man, we're definitely excited. This is the first podcast that Tick is doing that is actually PlayStation centric. So we are very, very blessed to be here and be able to kick this thing off. So before we even get started into this thing, we got a great show for you guys. But before we even go down that trail, I want to introduce our other host of this show. Now, I have to warn you guys, we got fresh meat on the block tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, fresh meat. We got some individuals who are new to the inner circle and then also new to podcasting. So I'm gonna let them introduce themselves, tell us a little bit about themselves. And we're going to start with my man, Chris, because his name starts with a letter that's before Kevin's. Sorry, Kevin. So, yeah, Chris, tell us about yourself, man.
Well, I'm Chris. I'm from the UK. I'm desperately trying not to make that sound like a dating game show intro. And I've been gaming for about 30 years, which is a scary, scary thought. And I've been gaming all the way from like IBM old PCs to up to PS4 Pros. And I just love my games. And I'm dead excited to be on Tick. And thanks very much for having me on.
You sound like a real gamer, Chris. But we're gonna test that. We're gonna see.
Oh, bring it on. Let's see what you got. You're gonna need more than indies.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. Let's get it. Okay. Right.
We got Cowboy.
We're gonna get into that. That's cool. I'll tell you, indies are more than enough. Indies are more than enough, but we can get into that. Let's let Kevin speak his piece. What's good, Kev?
Nothing much. Thanks for having me. I'm Kevin. I have been playing games for as long as I can remember. My first ever foray into games was with a Game Boy Color, and I was playing Pokemon Pinball. So it started then and has been an obsession ever since, along with anime. I'm your resident anime enthusiast.
See, that's why I like Kevin.
And yeah, it's good to be here today.
That's what
Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
Game Boy Color. You youngsters, your color in your Game Boys. Unbelievable. If it ain't green and black, I ain't playing it.
That's real old school right there, fam. I remember that. I ain't that young. I do remember the non-color. I didn't play it. I don't think I was playing actually back then, but I do remember seeing it back then.
Did you ever see the light? So before they had kind of backlights, they used to have a light that used to like sit on top of it, and it was huge. It was like a big magnifying glass with a light. It was awesome. It was awesome.
That does not even sound awesome.
They had that, and then there was for the Game Boy Color. They made a smaller form factor of that, the worm light. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but it plugged into the side, and it was like this. It looked like a spring, and then out of the top of it was a light that would shine down onto the screen, and I had that.
Oh wow! No,
kids and technology.
I don't know nothing about all that. You guys are old. Nah, I'll play. Nah, fam, but and some of you guys, you may know me out there, you ladies and gentlemen. I've been with the Inner Circle on a couple of podcasts. I've been on a podcast called Double XP, which is every other Wednesday night. I've been on a multiverse podcast just last night with Anchorman. You know what I'm saying? And then a few months ago, feels like a few months ago, I was on the Writer's Block podcast with Kiss Move fame, ENT, Demi, and a few other guys on that podcast as well. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a total virgin to this thing, you know what I'm saying? But this is our first time actually hosting a podcast. So, and a little bit about this podcast real quick before we get into this. Some of you may know, Tick, those of you who've been fans with Tick for a while, it's really been Xbox focused for a few years. and a lot of people don't know this, which I don't know why, because we promote the hell out of it. But Tick went multi-platform a few months ago. I may be tripping, maybe a year ago, but it's been at least a few months ago. We went multi-platform, and we've been covering all different types of platform on our website, tickgn.com. Different podcasts, like I mentioned before, have been covering different type of platforms. But this right here is the first time we're venturing into strictly PlayStation and highlighting PlayStation, because it is greatness and it deserves to be highlighted. So yeah, this is our first time having a podcast like that. So this is a PlayStation centric podcast. What you're going to get from this podcast is PlayStation talk, of course, games, because we are gamers, you know what I'm saying? That's first and foremost. And then we'll get into, you know, other platform talks such as PC, Xbox, you know, saying Nintendo when it is relevant. But primarily, you're going to get a lot of PlayStation talk here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. You know what I'm saying? So being that we are gamers, I want to get into the games we are actually playing this week. We were talking about a little bit of this before the show because we really do love games, y'all. And that's all we've been talking about. That and cheeseburgers. But yo, Kev, tell us what you've been playing this week, man.
So this week, this week I've been playing.
You took too long. You ain't no real gamer.
No, I played the Ghost Recon Wildlands beta this weekend, and took that for a test drive. Don't know how I feel about it. It's kind of weird. It's like if I were to describe it, I would say it's like a mashup between Just Cause and The Division. And it's like a really, it tries to be serious, but then you can do just like ridiculous, outlandish things, like just jack somebody's car and then run away, blow up helicopters out of nowhere, you know what I mean? But it can be tactical if you've got a group of people to play with, to be tactical with. So I don't know how I actually feel about it. It's kind of.
Did you feel it was quite empty? I know it was the beta, but I felt like it was quite empty with what was going with it all. So, like I feel like.
Yeah, I thought it was empty in terms of actual people or animals, though there were a lot of cars. So I think that was very strange to me, where, you know, you see a bunch of people driving, but the actual like folks walking around, wildlife, that was really sparse. But again, like you said, it was a beta, so that's not necessarily indicative of the final product. So
would you say that the rendering was sparse as well?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
It was definitely a beta.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think that's the biggest disclaimer on here, is that it's a beta. Just like what happened with the Division beta, where they made sure that, you know, they cut down on the amount of things that were in said beta while you played. I think that also needs to be applied here. So outside of that, I played quite a bit of that, and then I don't know if anybody knew, but Rainbow Six Siege had a free test trial this weekend.
I heard about that. Yeah.
So I played that. Very interesting. Very bad at it. I'm really bad at it.
Were you the dude running in with a shotgun? Was that you, Kev?
I was the one running around. They killed me before I could pull the shotgun out.
Damn.
So yeah, I'm really bad at that game, but I can see the appeal, and that's definitely a team-oriented game. Like, that's not something you go in solo like I did. That's something where you have like a dedicated team that you go in with. That's
cool. You think it's still interesting and you can still speak nice things of it, because most times when people they suck at a game, the game is trash.
Right. Yeah. I think it's very important to be able to make the distinction between between a game being trash and you being trash at the game.
Right. It's not you. It's not you. It's me.
So I played that, and then lastly, because I didn't have a lot of time to play this weekend, unfortunately, but I played the Gravity Rush 2 demo.
Okay, I'm about to say you were like all tactical until just now.
Yeah, yeah. And that was good. It was a lot of fun. Very short though. And I can see there have been complaints about how it controls. And I can understand that. It's a little like flighty, but that's also because of
play
the
the
physics
first one?
mechanic. I did not. So this was my first foray into Gravity Rush. But from what I've heard, a lot of it is very much so. This is just more Gravity Rush. So if you were a fan of that, then you'll probably be a fan of
that game legit made me sick. Like I legit made me sick. I tried to play it at PSX like 2 years ago. I tried to play the first one, and I was playing it. I started getting dizzy, man. I'm like, man, what is wrong with me? And I just, it's just her moving all over the place and stuff, up and down, sideways and stuff. Man, it literally made me sick. And I haven't tried it since. I was thinking about trying the demo, but then I was watching somebody's live stream and it started giving me that nausea feeling again. I'm like, nah, fam, this game is not for me. And I'm hearing good things about it, but I can't.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've heard good things too, but I think you'll still have that problem because I can definitely see where that's a problem with how the camera is oriented when you're going into your and excuse me for not knowing the proper term, but like your anti-gravity mode. When you're just floating in the ether, like the camera is very finicky in that state, so I can completely understand why.
I think that's very much the style, because I've played the demo of the first game on the Vita. I am a Vita owner. Get a load of that. One of the few. And it was very much like that as the first one, and then I was seeing like videos and so on, and you were very much spot on, Kev, when you said it's just more Gravity Rush. But I think if it, well, supposedly if it ain't broke, then don't fix it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anything else you got?
Nope. That was me this week.
All right. So let me run down what I've been playing this week. I've been trying to hit my backlog, so I've been playing Knack. I've been playing Knack. I got that for $4. My first time ever playing it.
Wow.
Yeah, first time ever playing it. I wanted to try it, and I couldn't warrant a purchase of like $20 or more on it. So I had to wait until it went down. So yes, I got it for $4. And Knack is worth $4, everybody. I can definitely confirm that. It is worth $4.
Check your back pocket.
Mark Cerny will be very happy to hear that.
$60, no. I'm glad I did not get it day one. But I could see $20. I would have gotten it for $20 if I would have known it was this good. So I mean, it's cool. I've been playing Wolf Among Us. I just finished episode 1 of that. Wolf Among Us. People have been telling me about this game for a while. And that first episode, bro, Telltale Games do this to me. Like, it makes me want to go on a gaming binge. Kind of like The Walking Dead. If I watch that like on Netflix, I gotta sit there and watch like 2 or 3 episodes. It's like Lay's chips. You can't just eat just one. Like, so if it wasn't so late, I would have continued to play. I don't want to spoil nothing, but man, chop. All I gotta say is chopping people's heads off, fam. What a freak.
I've played the whole thing. It is good. It is really good. And I just love the whole setup with the fairy tales and how they're kind of living in the normal world and stuff. The actual kind of story, which I think is from a comic,
I think so.
It's just very cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that game.
You played the Batman one?
I did. I did. I got on that like a month or so ago. I had gone in and I ran through that pretty quickly. Very well done. I love the Bruce Wayne perspective, the side of things. Interesting story. Telltale does it the best, in my opinion, when it comes to those, point and click adventure story games. But yeah, that was dope as well. So I can't wait to get back on Wolf Among Us though, yo. What you about to say?
Oh no, I was just going to say that I love the fact on the Batman one you have the choice of either doing it as Batman or Bruce Wayne. I love that kind of switch over. It was a clever way to kind of attack a Batman game, is from the kind of Bruce Wayne side that we don't see that often. So I enjoyed that immensely.
Right. And then last but not least, the granddaddy of them all, The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3, man. I played The Witcher 2 on Xbox 360. I waited too long to get on this game. And the only reason, not because I didn't think it was going to be good, but because I knew I would have to spend a lot of time and invest a lot of time. So basically I had to block time on my schedule for this game. And it's such a time as this that I'm playing The Witcher 3. And yo, I'm thoroughly enjoying this game. All I got to say is freak Yennefer. I'm all about that Triss life. You heard me. I'm all about that Triss life. You heard me. Yo, I'm taking screenshots. Bruh, I'm thinking about making a collage video of this beautiful dime piece Triss.
Kind of like the redhead.
Yo, she's a down chick, fam. So yeah, I'm definitely feeling this game. I'm past Velen. I'm past, as far as the main story, past Velen, and then Novigrad. I just finished that up as far as the main story, but I still got like so many side quests. Still got to do the DLC. And I'm trying to get this game done before Horizon Zero Dawn drops. I don't know how I'm going to do it, though.
You ain't going to do it.
Damn,
you ain't going to do it.
That's quite the task you've set for yourself.
Sorry to break it to you, Nick. And I know Cal's in the chat, our fearless leader. He needs to get on The Witcher 3. He keeps saying he's going to do it. He's not sure. He needs to play it. Cal, if you can hear me, get that.
Yeah, I definitely recommend everybody playing The Witcher 3. I do understand some people's gripes, as far as how slow it is, if you don't understand what's going on and stuff. But you quickly get into it, you quickly get up to speed, in my opinion, and it's definitely something you don't want to miss. If you want an open world RPG type of game, you don't want to miss it, man. Don't do what I almost did. But Chris, last but not least, what you playing, my man?
Well, I'm basically trying to fill my time until Horizon Zero Dawn comes out. I've got that on pre-order, so it's filling my time with that. So it's Far Cry 4, which I picked up for pretty cheap, doing that. And I think partly the reason...
You got it for $4?
And all that cheap.
You paid too much. You paid too much. No,
it's pound to dollar thing, man. It's killing me. It's part of the reason why I think the Wildlands was so bare, because Far Cry 4 is just filled with things. It's just got so much to do. It's ridiculous. Around every corner, there's things to do. It's crazy. I enjoyed 3 immensely, and 4 is beautiful. It's got a nice setting in Nepal, I think, and really nice. And then, like I said, I've been playing the Wildlands beta. But then also Virginia as well, an indie game which I think Nick would be happy with.
I've heard of it.
That is a trip. That is sending you on a trip and back. It's a really clever game. It doesn't have any dialogue, doesn't have any subtitles. It's all the power of suggestion of what's going on, and you have to kind of, say work it out in your own head, but it really
put together the narrative through visual cues only.
Couldn't have said it better, Kev. It really is a trip. It's like the X-Files on another planet. It's very cool, very cool. But you will be sat there at the end of it going, what? And it's only about 2 and a bit hours long, I would say, probably.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
So, but is it $4?
I think I got it pretty close to $4, whatever that works out to be. I think it was around about £5
All these games, they need to be $4. And then I'll get them all. If they're $4, I'll get them all, fam.
It's these flash sales. They are bad for you. These
flash sales are evil, man. Let me tell you guys something. PlayStation got the best flash sale. The PlayStation Store is always throwing games at us. It's like, for me, I feel like PlayStation got so many freaking games that they basically have to throw these games at you. Like, they have to basically almost give them away. And that'd be my downfall. That's why my backlog is so long, bro. It's like, I keep checking out the flash sales, and I'm like, I want to play that eventually. I don't know when, but eventually I'm going to get to it, and I download, bro. Just constantly. It's been like...
You're going to have that written on your gravestone, aren't you? You're going to have...
Just download.
Just download.
Just download. I'll play it later. It'll be fine. Just have that written on it. I'll play that later. So written on your gravestone.
Yo, but speaking of games, we're gonna talk about on this show a lot about games and PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? This show is perfect perfect timing being on Tuesday, because Tuesday is drop day for games, and PlayStation always releases a lot of games every single Tuesday. Some great, some not so great.
Kitty powers.
So we're gonna check out the games this week in case you guys are not up to date on what games have dropped this week on the PlayStation Store. So I'm gonna share my screen with you guys real quick so you guys can see what we're talking about. Because yeah, my man Chris just mentioned something. He mentioned Kitty Powers. That is the name of a game that is on the PlayStation Store this week. So let me know if you guys can all see my screen. And we're gonna show you guys, this greatness. This greatness that has dropped this week. So, okay, first and foremost, a lot of different indie games always dropping on PS4. So do not judge these games harshly. Give them a try, and you may want to buy. So first, you got 8 Days. I checked this game out as a top-down, basically like a spy type of game, top-down shooter. It's multiplayer. I think it's only couch co-op, which I don't understand why games make games just couch co-op. I mean, I can appreciate couch co-op, but it has to be both. It has to be online and couch, in my opinion. But so this one right here, it looks pretty interesting. I might pick it up.
There's a demo of that as well. That one.
There's a demo of 8 Days.
Yeah.
Oh, see, even better. More than the love of $4 games. I love free demos. I love the free. So Nico would definitely be trying this one out just to see how it is. How to Survive 2, if you guys remember that is also out right now. So How to Survive is basically that zombie game where you're stuck on an island and you have to basically figure out how to survive. Have you guys played How to Survive Part 1?
I played Part 1. Yeah, I played a version of it. I can't remember which one. They brought out a couple of different types of how to survive. But, you get the general idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't like the first one. It was trash.
I played it for about half an hour and was like, no, I'm all right.
So this is the highlight, ladies and gentlemen, of this week's PlayStation release. Which, to be fair, is also on Xbox One. I thought it was just on PlayStation, but it's also on Xbox One. But this is Kitty
and mobile.
Damn. Kitty Powers Matchmaker. So Kitty Powers Matchmaker is a matchmaking dating.
Just read that. Just read that second sentence. Manage your own matchmaking agency with the guidance of your fabulous boss, drag queen, diva, Kitty Powers. What else do you need?
What else do you need in life, right? What else do you freaking need in life? So I've never heard of Kitty Powers, but they make it sound like she's very famous. So we went to the website and we checked out Kitty Powers Matchmaker on PS4 and Xbox One, and it's coming right in time for Valentine's Day for all of you people out there who don't have a life. You can download this game.
Or a significant other.
Or
even if you do, why not?
You can download this game and play it by yourself.
Show a girl a good time.
It is $9.99 on Steam. Oh, it's also on Steam. Okay. Look at this crap. Yo, so we were talking about this before the show, and I don't understand why sometimes these games get on the store. Like, who approves this crap? Because this is freaking embarrassing. This is like Life of the Black Tiger, man. It's ridiculous.
Reckon Mark Cerny's married to Kitty Powers. Is that what it is?
Oh, Jesus.
that wouldn't even explain it. And then, we got the big one right here, Nioh or Nioh, however you guys want to pronounce it out there, Nioh. So this is the big one right here. We're going to talk about this a little later. And we got the Onion Knights, okay? And we have Ping Pong VR for all you PSVR people. So the lineup this week, not really great. Not really great, but you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. There are options out there for you guys who are into Kitty Powers Matchmaker. Games like that.
There's also a game that's come out in the UK, which hopefully will be coming out in the States, and it's called I Expect You to Die. And it's a VR game, and you basically play a secret agent put into death-defying situations where you've got to work your way out of it. It feels very much kind of like Job Simulator by the looks of it, the kind of art style. And generally just looks like it's a bit of a laugh, really.
Yeah, I Expect You to Die. I thought that was out already, though.
It might be in the States, but it's come out today in the UK. So I don't know. I thought I'd add it onto the list. Shout out for VR.
Shout out for VR.
Needs all the love it can get.
Yeah, it does. Nobody's playing it. Not playing.
I am.
Chris is the only man playing VR. So yeah, if you guys are interested in those games, I know a lot of people definitely that's the main game they're getting is Nioh this week. A lot of people already got it and stuff like that before. I know a few people got it on Friday and Thursday of last week, bastards, but it's all good. So let's get into these topics, man. So we got a few things we want to talk about with you guys today. And just before we go forward, make sure you guys let us know what you think about the podcast by hitting that like button. If you don't mind, do not hit that dislike button. If you don't like the podcast, just don't do anything. There's sometimes you just don't need to do anything when you don't.
Go watch Grey's Anatomy instead.
Yeah, there you go. Just turn it off and go watch Grey's Anatomy.
go and play some Kitty Powers.
There you go. If you don't like this podcast, you deserve to play Kitty Powers. Okay. But first topic we want to hit is I read today actually that Kojima has no plans of releasing any sequels for his upcoming independent IP, Death Stranding. So I want to get you guys' thoughts on this. Death Stranding, for those of you who don't know, it is a Kojima game. It is going to be exclusive to PS4, as far as, we know. And basically, it's the first game he's coming out of from, that Metal Gear mess with Konami and everything like that. So, but he basically has stated there are no plans of doing a sequel. When I forgot what publication asked him this, but he basically said he is fully focused on Death Stranding, the game as it is now. So everything, all his heart, his soul is going into this game, and it's basically going to be like a standalone type of game. He did state that if people beg him, he didn't say it in those words, but people beg him enough, he may consider a sequel a few years after or whatever, but as of now, no sequels planned. So I want to get you guys' thoughts on this. What do you think about that statement? What do you think about his vision and stuff behind this game? Chris, what do you think, man?
It feels very much like The Last of Us, where it's a situation where they're going to try and make it a one-off game. But I can imagine if the reception's good, they're probably going to have a couple of ties that they're not going to, tie up, or loose ties, whatever it's called. And I think that they might keep the door open for a sequel, but not have it as a direct sequel, kind of like what The Last of Us is doing, where it's it kind of ended and everyone was kind of happy with the way it ended, and then they'll maybe look down the line. But I don't think that game's out till 2019 anyway. So I think of the sequel. I've got to make it to 2000 and whatever it will be, 24, PlayStation 6. Man, yeah, I'm pleased that it's a single experience, because I think it looks absolutely mad. As we'd say in the UK, absolutely bananas. Don't ask me why it's bananas, but that's what it is.
I think we say that in the US too. Or
good.
No, I think we used to say that. We don't say that anymore. You guys,
so old.
Yeah,
you
so
guys
old,
so old-fashioned,
bro.
Unbelievable. Anyway, yeah, it looks bananas, but I like bananas, so that's good. And I like Mads Mikkelsen, so that's even better.
Nice. I definitely share that sentiment. I do also appreciate when publishers, game developers, they actually are focused on one thing at a time. They don't get ahead of themselves and start thinking about the money before they basically have proven themselves. Saying, especially with new IPs, like, you need to prove yourself first. You need to prove your worth before you can think about, trying to create sequels and create a franchise. I don't really like when, new IPs come out and they're like, oh yeah, this is just going to be, a multi-game franchise. That's what we're going for here. Like, you don't even know before you even finish the game, people they're thinking like that. You don't even know if the game is going to be good. You don't even know if it's going to be a success yet. So put all your heart, energy, and your mind and thoughts into the one game. Make it great. Make it amazing. You can set it up for a sequel, but kind of leave it open-ended. Like you said, I love the way The Last of Us did it. Like that could have went either way.
Whoa. Before we go into that, Kev has not completed The Last of Us yet. So no spoilers, man.
Yeah, we will definitely try not to spoil. Thank you, Chris. See, Chris is the man, bro. Chris is the one that's going to keep us on, because I swear I was about to let something slip. Not intentionally, but I talk too damn much. But Chris is the man, bro. But
I had to rein you in there.
Yes, because I was about to spoil it for all the viewers, and people were going to definitely thumbs down this thing. For sure. First episode canceled. No more. We done.
I think also they've got to prove themselves as a studio as well. There's obviously all really experienced guys that he's brought in, and obviously himself as well. But then he's got to prove himself with this game, and I think people are going to be hyped for it, so it needs to deliver.
Right. Kev, what you think, bro? Are you a Kojima fan? Are you interested in this game at all?
So I'm of a few minds with this one. So in terms of, the deal of not having any sequels planned, I think that's smart. Not only for Kojima, but I think that's smart on Sony's end, because given past Kojima games, the man can run up a bill.
Yeah.
Like, I would not promise that man a sequel for anything.
That is true.
Not knowing the return you're going to get on this investment. That being said, he makes arguably
amazing.
Some of the best products in the game business. I think it's too early to say that it's going to be a good game, considering we don't know what it even is. I think that, there's so much unknown about it right now, and I think 2019 is estimating early. I wouldn't expect to see this until 2020. And I feel like if it's 2019, great, but I think that's very early.
I think also, going back to what you were saying, Kev, you were saying about how he's obviously, known for spending a bit of cash. Maybe he's a little bit on trial with Sony. So they're obviously fully trying to back him, but they're also a little bit like, we'll back you, but let's see what you can do before we start giving you some more cash and more freedom.
Which is smart, because people see him as the god and everything, but you got to prove your worth. You know what I'm saying? His worth is proven. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to dog Kojima or anything like that.
They'll just send Kratos on his ass if he fails.
Yeah, there we go. What you gonna say, Kev? My bad, fam.
Yeah, no, you're good. I think Sony kind of owes it to him at this point. He has such a long lineage in the PlayStation ecosystem. So to that degree, I can understand why they would be more accommodating of him, especially if he was like, hey, I need more money. And they're like, again. I fully expect this to be a solid game from Kojima. I think that, again, having it be a standalone title as of right now is good for all parties involved. That is, I will say, I do think there is some rationale behind some, some teams that say, hey, we've got a multi-game project going on. There's certainly times where that's appropriate, but I think in this case it's more appropriate that they stick to the one title, especially because we don't know, or they don't know how it's going to shake out, and keep that wallet close.
Keep that wallet close.
I think with how like it's kind of going, I think that like Sony and Microsoft have been cutting studios. There's that whole Scalebound thing. I think they're a little bit more cautious at the moment. You kind of get the feeling that they're ready to cut ties if they need to, sort of thing like that. But I think Kojima's got a pass, so I think he'll definitely have this game and probably a couple more. But I think also might be creative. I think he might also not like. He might also want to be like, right, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do something completely different afterwards. I think that's why he wanted to leave Konami.
Yeah, he probably does not want to get stuck in another franchise.
Yeah.
Because I can see Kojima wants to release his creative juices all over the world.
Lucky world.
Depends on how you look at creative juices. But anyway, man.
Moving swiftly on.
Let's moving on from Kojima's creative juices. Next up, we got an announcement. You guys may or may not have heard, but Drawn to Death, brought to us by David Jaffe, the guy who created God of War. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know who David Jaffe is, you are not PlayStation. Let me just say that right now. If you don't know what God of War is, you are not PlayStation. Okay? But David Jaffe created Drawn to Death. It's coming out April 4th. You know what I'm saying? And this is a 4v4 arena type shooter. It was originally set to be free to play, but they have changed that since. And now it's going to be releasing for $20. I actually did play the beta for Drawn to Death, and I actually did enjoy it. It has this weird art style. Basically, for those of you who don't know, the game starts you off, you're this kid in this classroom. He's drawing in his little doodle book because he's a dumbass and he doesn't want to pay attention in class, and wonder why he's getting Fs and wonder why he gets punished all the time and whipped when he gets home. So he's drawing his little doodle notebook, and the characters. Penises. Yeah, he is. He's drawing.
That's super bad.
There are penises in this game. Yes, you're not far off. So
is it like Conan penises? Have you seen that game?
I have seen that. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. That's horrible. Like, dude, penises on the cross? Seriously? We doing that now, fam? That's what's hot in the streets? Penises on the cross. Come on, bro. You know what? It's a speaking of Conan, it's a Xbox One and PC exclusive. It's not on PS4. Do you guys know why?
Because we didn't like penises.
Jesus.
Or some don't like massive booby. There you go.
That's not the reason.
Keep it equal.
No, that's not the reason. You know why? Because the Asian penis was misrepresented according to the Sony execs and stuff. The Asian penis was misrepresented, and they didn't appreciate the disrespect. They didn't appreciate the disrespect. You know what I'm saying?
Are you yanking my crank?
To the Asian penis in Conan.
No, really?
Nah, I'm playing.
Oh god.
I was gonna say, man. I knew you were yanking my crank.
Oh, that'd be funny. That'd be dope, though. No, you take this back. Penis not that small. Take it back.
Oh no.
Okay. But let's get off of Conan's penis and get back to Drawn to Death right quick. So
your regularly scheduled penis segment.
We are all gonna lose our jobs tonight. So Drawn to Death, yes. So yeah, he's drawn his little doodle book, and all the little characters and stuff come to life, and you're playing in that world, 4v4 arena type of shooter. And they took it from free to play to basically paying for it now, which I think was a good idea, because free to play kind of throws people off. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't trust free to play. So I think that may have been part of the reason and why they decided to make it, $20, which I think is a great price for that game, because it does have, even in the beta, it had a lot of content and just a lot of stuff that was locked because it was a beta and stuff. So very cool looking game. I played the beta. Did any of you guys else play the beta at all?
I did a long time ago. I don't remember most of it. I just remember I came out feeling as though I did not like this game. And that's purely personal preference. It just didn't jive with me. But what I will say is I agree with you, where I think it's good that they moved away from the free-to-play model. I think free-to-play it has a lot of strings attached to it, and I think ultimately, if you want to put a game out in the marketplace,
Yeah.
you should have enough confidence in it that you're going to charge for it.
Right.
Otherwise, I don't understand why it's going out there. That's just my personal thought on it. But
yeah, I think the perception of free to play has to change for console gamers in general before it can actually be successful. Because when the PS4 first released, like this was basically the first time we as console gamers, just console only gamers, I should say, got into the free to play type of realm, like really dived into it. They really started introducing a lot of free to play games, such as like Warframe on the PS4. But a lot of those games, they felt real grindy. Like, you know, you had to pay in order to get to the next level and things like that. And it kind of threw me off from free to play and put a perception in my head that free to play games I kind of want to stay away from. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
And more recently, you know, it's starting to get better. Like free to play games like Let It Die. I don't know if you guys heard of that.
Yeah.
But it's like a Souls inspired free to play. That is actually really fun. And it is not like paid to win. Like there's so many different like things you can just earn in that game, and it's free.
The tide is turning with those sort of games, isn't it? It really, they're starting to realize that they can't, you know, they can't get away with that kind of model that they had before, where progression was, you know, quick progression if you pay, sort of thing like that.
Right.
Seems like a lot of these games are now just like it's cosmetic stuff you can get when you buy them, but a lot of the time that you can go up. I don't play that many free to play games, which is probably stupid of me because there's probably loads of good ones. But it's a shame this one isn't. But I probably would pay £20 for it anyway. I just like the art style and what they do with it, and it looks very original.
Yeah, it is definitely original, and you know, David Jaffe's behind it. He's behind the helm, so you know, you got you got the credibility there. You know what I'm saying, through him. So $20, I think, is a great price, great asking price. I would definitely recommend this to anybody that likes arena shooters. You know what I'm saying, Kev? I wouldn't say pay $20 for it, Kev, because you didn't have a good experience with it. But maybe we could share play, and I can let you try it again.
It's got a good community.
Does it have a good community?
Is it quite? Is it?
The beta's community was dope. Yeah, it was always active and stuff. But keep in mind, it was a beta, so they didn't really have too many people that had access to it. Because I played the beta like a year ago or so.
Yeah. It was a long time ago.
Oh, no, I only say that because the video that they had on it recently, it felt like it was an ongoing beta, like it was on. Like it kind of, you know, like they've done with like Ark and what's it like the Dirt Rally, where they brought the game out for, it was like super cheap or like a beta version of it, and then people have kind of interjected their thoughts and they've molded the game over a year.
Yeah, right. So it's been ongoing. It's been open, close, open, close. So private. It's been ongoing. So someone has always been playing this game ever since the first beta released. It's, like I said, been private, closed, open, just depending on the volume of people at any given time they allow to play it. But yeah, it's been ongoing. So yeah, hopefully, it'll be a success. I mean, it's coming out April 4th. Been waiting for this a long time. And for those of you just joining, we are talking about Drawn to Death, launching April 4th. $20. You know what I'm saying? I definitely advise you guys to check it out. I'm not a salesman for Sony or Shu Yoshida or anything like that. I'm just recommending games right now, guys. So let's move on. So we're going to talk about the biggin. We're going to talk about the big mama right now, coming out end of this February. Yeah, it's coming out end of this month. February 28th. What's that?
I was just going to say, do you want to do Nioh now or not?
Oh, we can. What do you want to do, Chris? What do you want to do?
What do I want to do? Let's carry on with Horizon.
Okay. Because you're anxious to talk about this Nioh, huh?
Yeah, I can't wait.
Okay, so let's talk about Horizon. We'll make it quick. We're really not gonna make it quick, but yeah, Horizon coming out February 28th, ladies and gentlemen. This is the big PS4 exclusive for this month. PS4 has been dropping a lot of exclusives in January, such as Yakuza 0, that dizzy ass game Gravity Rush 2, you know what I'm saying? And now we got Horizon Zero Dawn coming out end of this month. But so I want to get into our expectations because there is a lot of hype around this game. Guerrilla Games has been putting out a lot of gameplay. We've been getting like 20-30 minute gameplays all over the place. You know what I'm saying? They've been very vocal about their vision behind this game, about their vision behind the main character. Aloy, is that how you pronounce her name?
Aloy.
I'm horrible with video game character names.
Yeah, me too.
They really have been hyping this thing up. So I want to know what you guys think. What are your expectations? Do you think the hype is real? Do you think that this game is going to be that game of the year type of material coming from Guerrilla? Let's start with Kev this time because I want to be different.
I think that, I think the hype is real with it. I think Guerrilla, this is clearly a departure from what they have been doing for the last 10 years or so with Killzone, but I think they're taking a lot of that experience from the development cycles of the last few Killzone games and implementing it in a smart way to build up this huge scale RPG for them. I think they also did a very smart move in terms of adapting their team to also fit the type of game that they were making, because obviously having your full team of first-person shooters it won't completely translate well to making a fairly open RPG like Horizon is. So I think from what I've seen of the different footage from a bunch of other content creators, it seems as though they've shaped a very solid game, and I think this will be a marquee AAA title for Sony going on out. I don't see any way how this can stumble unless there's a huge technical glitch that happens when the game comes out that isn't addressed.
So is Horizon Zero Dawn a day one for you, Kev?
I think so, yeah. Let me rephrase that. It would be a day one if I wasn't traveling for work that week. But yes, I plan on picking it up after I get back. So yeah, definitely.
Dope. Oh, Chris, what do you think of our Horizon? You think it's garbage or what?
Far from it. I am hyped for
you guys
this
are
game.
PlayStation fanboys, bro. Y'all just PlayStation fanboys, man. Y'all like Horizon? Really?
Sue me. Oh man, I pre-ordered it months ago. It does everything that I want from a game. I love like the Tomb Raiders. I love the Uncharted games. It's kind of got that gameplay. It's got that kind of Witcher feel of the open world. It's got a whole kind of crafting system in it as well. And who doesn't like robot dinosaurs?
Right.
There you go. So, right. And I love me a game with a good bow and arrow. It ticks all of my boxes. And I know, Nick, you're going to love it because it's a redheaded girl again. So you're going to be...
another Triss in the open world. Nice. Yes, I'm going to call her Triss. I'm going to call her Triss Jr. Yeah. There you go. Yes. Yo, definitely I'm hyped. I'm expecting the game to definitely perform well from a technical aspect because Guerrilla Games does make great games. Definitely.
I mean, it looks stunning on the base PS4, supposedly. So let alone the Pro in 4K, well, rendered 4K.
Yeah, it's going to be that checkerboard speciality.
We've got a little bit of checkerboard,
which is just as good as 4K.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's gonna be up there as far as graphics, performance. You know what I'm saying? I'm not expecting it to run perfect or anything, but I'm expecting it to be steady frame rate, and just a beautiful presentation. You know what I'm saying? As far as the story goes, I did hear that they did hire some writers. You know what I'm saying? Outside of their norm that actually do open world type games, have experience in that. So I'm definitely glad they did that. Because honestly, for me, the Killzone games, the story was good, but it was nothing compelling, in my opinion. And mind you, I only played Killzone 3 and Shadowfall. I didn't play 2 or 1 or anything like that. I heard those stories were better, but 3 and Shadowfall, I mean, they were okay, but they weren't anything compelling in my opinion. So I'm just excited that they hired some writers that, will just focus, on the story. Like they basically have broken this team into like components. People who focus on the story, the gameplay, main missions, side missions, and they all work together to bring that all together in this nice gumbo. You heard me. So yeah, I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm expecting nothing but greatness from this because greatness, ladies and gentlemen, greatness is no longer awaiting. Greatness came a year ago, in my humble yet often correct opinion. So we're about to get more greatness on top of greatness on top of greatness. You know what I'm saying? On PS4 this year, and Horizon's really going to kick it off. Even though we had great games in January, like I said, but Horizon's really going to kick it off, in my opinion. So
yeah,
I'm definitely hyped for this game. Definitely.
I also want to add, I completely agree with you on, the Killzone story not being a very compelling one. It was just kind of there. You played Killzone for the mechanics of it, not for the story necessarily, right? And I think they realize that too. I think Guerrilla realizes that, and that's why they decided to go this route of getting different writers that can mold a story worth telling around the mechanics that they've already built up from the Killzone franchise. So, yeah.
I'm with Adam in the chat who says that he admires the way the grass looks, and I have to say I agree with him.
Yep.
Who said that?
That's
Somebody in the
nice
chat.
grass.
Who said that in the chat? Oh, Adam.
Yep.
He admires the grass. Look, that 4K grass.
4K
grass though. Let's get it. That grass reminds me of Uncharted 4's grass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's hot. You know a game
all
is
the
good.
finer details.
Yo, you know a game is good when it's got that hot grass, that 4K grass.
4K grass.
That's that day one grass right there. I'm on that.
So that's your special edition.
That's a special edition grass right there, man. Yo, so yeah, we all definitely are PlayStation fanboys when it comes to Horizon. Definitely looking forward to that game.
I think just to add on that, Nick, I think a lot of people are looking. I seem to see a lot of people on my Twitter timeline, lots of guys that are with us at Tick, that everyone's like gonna get my PlayStation in March. I think Undead was saying it like earlier, and I think a few other guys were saying it. They're like, and I've seen like a couple of people I know have been like, I'm getting my PlayStation in March. I'm like, funny that comes out at the same sort of time as a certain game. Funny that, because they're bringing out the pack with the PS4 and Horizon, which I think is it's the most obvious thing that they could ever do, but it's going to be a winner.
So we got a certified system seller on our hands here. System seller
looks like it.
Not that it needs any help.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. The system does not need help selling, but it's always good because
I think it might be a system switcher.
System switcher.
I don't want to use the word switch, but you know what I mean.
System switcher. Yeah, I got you.
I literally had the sound in my head as you said. I've seen that commercial one too many times.
Whenever I hear the word switch, that automatically is in my head. Like I even do it. Like I was asking somebody, because I'm making this video, and I was capturing these kids, some friends of mine, their kids, and I asked them about the Switch. I said, have you ever heard of the Nintendo Switch? I instantly just did that. Like, I don't even know why. I'm just freaking programmed that quickly to snap every time I say
They've got you. Their hooks are in.
Already. That day one Switch.
You need that $700 now to afford all the bits for it and stuff.
Yeah, we're going to pass on that, fam. I'm good. I got too many games to play already. I'm good. Yeah. So we're gonna move on because man, time is flying. Time flies when you have fun. But we're gonna move on and let Chris give us, his impressions on Nioh. Nioh, it is released. It is out in the wild. Like I said before, some people got it early. We've been seeing a lot of gameplay of this game. They dropped a couple of demos for this game. So Chris is gonna give us his impressions, his thoughts on Nioh right quick. So enlighten us.
Real quick. I'm not a fan of the Souls games, but I actually really like this. It's got a really nice it's called a key, but it's a stamina system where when you're going through combat and you're doing your kind of hit combos, your stamina's going down like you would do in a normal kind of Souls game. But it almost does and I hate to say it, a Gears of War thing where you hit R1 and it kind of, if you time it right, it bumps your stamina back up, which allows you to almost kind of do Devil May Cry like combos with it. It looks a really kind of interesting story where it's got a nice bit of history and a bit of wacky kind of Japanese gaming, which I adore. So yeah, I'm probably going to check out the full game, but from the demo, it was good fun. I think it's going to be hard. I've seen a lot of videos being posted about 10 ways not to die in it. So you know that's going to be that sort of game. But yeah, no, it looks good and it looks beautiful on the Pro as well in 4K, checkerboard 4K.
That checkerboard upscale. Is this one in native 4K though? I thought Nioh was in native 4K though.
Oh, I don't know actually. I don't know. I know they've got two different modes. They've got like an action mode, which gives you a faster frame rate, and then they've got I think it's the movie mode where it's got a better picture, so you can pick and choose. Really. I think the frame rate for me though.
I'm picking frame rate too.
The movie mode is capped at 30 frames.
Yeah, that's it.
The action mode can go up to 60. But yeah, go with the action mode from everything I've been reading. If you're thinking about playing, go with action.
Go with action mode.
It can be incredibly fast paced in sections, so it's that kind of creep up, but then it's that kind of once the action starts, it's pretty cool. And like I said, with that stamina system where you can recharge the stamina, it's good fun.
Okay. And I definitely, I'm a fan of like the Souls type of games. Now, I didn't play Dark Souls, but I did play Bloodborne. And the only reason I didn't play Dark Souls wasn't because I was like scared because it's hard. Because I do like challenging games, but like the first Dark Souls, I forgot which one it was, but it looked really slow. Like the combat looks like super slow. It was a lot of blocking and then, hitting, blocking, hitting. It just looked too slow for me. So that's why I kind of passed on Dark Souls. And I know like Dark Souls 3, 2 and stuff is like much better than that, but I was always turned off from that experience. I forgot which one it was. It may have been Demon Souls or something like that.
Yeah, probably.
Real slow.
It mixes it up quite nicely as well because you can do like a high, medium, and low attack, and that really kind of changes up how you kind of approach an enemy. Obviously, I'm probably guessing as you go onto the game that you have to hit them with a high one and then hit them with a low one like that, and you literally set them, and then the action button allows you to kind of attack in different ways. So I think there's a lot of way of thinking, and then obviously there's like the range work as well. I think there was a bow, and then like I think you get a gun later on as well. So I think it's got a real nice mixture by the looks of things, and it's getting great reviews. And it's look at the chat, people are saying that it's been selling out pretty much everywhere. So that's good news.
Wow. Yo, yeah, it is definitely getting great reviews, and that's another thing, man. This game, I think it's like at high 80s as far as reviews go. And yo, Polygon, they don't even have their review up because they said it's too hard. You know what I'm saying? They said it's too hard. They can't beat it right now. So their review is gonna come out like in a week or so.
Yeah, I think they were doing a live stream at one point and they were getting like ripped apart because like it was pretty bad.
Yo, but much respect to Polygon though for you know what I'm saying, not putting out the review before they beat it. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these reviewers, they'll do that. They'll get their review out before they beat it. And trust me, I am press, ladies and gentlemen. So I know how the game can work. We at the Inner Circle, TickGN.com, do not do that. We do play our games and we do beat our games, just so you guys know. But there are people, saying reviewers that do that, So much respect to Polygon for admitting that they aren't really that great at that game and they're waiting till they actually beat it to put out the review for you guys. But even without them though, it's freaking high. So definitely from a review standpoint, the game is great just from that standpoint. So I'm definitely excited to try it. I can't fit it in right now because of my obsession with The Witcher 3. But once I'm done with that, Horizon's next, and I may be able to squeeze Nioh in there as well. But real quick, I want to move on and ask you guys and the chat, I want to ask everybody listening at sound of my voice, what PlayStation exclusives are you most looking forward to in 2017? And listen, everybody, take your time because there are a lot of them. Okay, take your time. There is no sparseness going on over here. So take your time. I'm talking about indie. I'm talking about AAA. I'm talking about AA, batteries, whatever. Tell us what is the PlayStation exclusive you are most looking forward to in 2017. And I'm going to start it off real quick, let you guys think about it because I took notes. But Horizon, definitely looking forward to that. And Nier Automata. And disclaimer, I do understand that Nier Automata may or may not be coming to PC, but I'm talking about exclusives, meaning console exclusives, because I don't have a damn PC. So it's exclusive to me. All right. So Nier Automata, I'm looking forward to that as well. And I'm gonna leave it there. There are a lot of other games that I may or may not get, but those two are definitely day ones, you know what I'm saying, for me. Other games that I'm seeing, they may or may not be depending on, you know what I'm saying. I think I'm like a very careful consumer. I'm careful with my money, so everything's not a day one for me. But Horizon, Nier, definitely day ones. What do you guys say? What games are you looking forward to this year that definitely you're getting?
So while it won't be a day one for me, I do want to get Nier Automata. I played the demo for that. That game is so good.
Yo.
Like that mech fight at the end of that demo is insane. And then just two others. The DLC for Uncharted, the Lost Legacy.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be out this year. That looks pretty good. I'm glad to see that Chloe's back into the franchise. And hopefully it comes out this year. I don't know if it will, but Detroit Become Human from Quantic Dream, I want to play that. I enjoyed Heavy Rain. Heavy Rain was so good on the PS3. So, and this looks like a better version of that. So yeah, Detroit Become Human. I want that as soon as possible.
Yo, you named some hits, man. And honestly, someone said in the chat, Hellblade, B Money, shout out to B Money. Thanks for joining, my brother. But he said Hellblade. I forgot, dude, that game keeps slipping under my radar, man. But that may be a day one for me as well. I keep forgetting about it though. But go ahead, Chris. What are your exclusives you're looking forward to?
I'm going to be really boring and say Horizon. And because I am a big, massive racing game fan, I'm looking forward to Gran Turismo. I want that game now.
Come out this year?
Yep.
Well, it was meant to come out last year, but
I know it got delayed.
Yeah, it's supposed to be out this year.
Okay.
I want that game in my life. And
need it in my life. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. And then I'm looking forward to, like I said earlier, I might be the only one, but I'm quite looking forward to what they're going to do with PSVR, whether it's going to sink or swim, what they're going to bring out for it. They need to start bringing out games like Batman VR. They need something for it.
Is Farpoint supposed to be coming out for that?
Sorry?
Isn't some game called Farpoint supposed to be a big AAA VR experience?
It's a first-person shooter, so see how that works. And probably more things to buy. Probably more accessories to buy for my VR.
Because you're like the only person in the UK that bought a VR, right?
No, actually, it's really bizarre. Real quick, I'll just say that pretty much everyone that I have had a go at it who's got a PlayStation has tried to even go and get one, which they can't because there's low stock. But a lot of people over Christmas were like, as soon as people try it, they're like, I want one. And it's that really hard thing where you're trying to tell somebody about it, like I would do tonight, and I won't do it justice. I will not do it justice. It's another level. It's that kind of like little kid thing where you just go, whoa.
Yeah, you gotta experience it for yourself.
You gotta experience. Yeah, VR is very much so. You have to experience it to become a believer. I mean, I would have put VR as a gimmick if I didn't try the HTC Vive.
that sort of standard is the future. And PSVR is a kind of it's a great kind of cheap version of that. I say cheap in the lightest term. But I really like what they've done with it. I think it's good, and we're going to come on in a minute to the updates, and I'm very excited about one feature for that's coming out. But carry on, guys.
Okay, cool. So, Chris, you're the only one on the panel that has PSVR, right? Kev, do you got one?
I do not.
Okay, so we're the two sensible people on the panel. Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense now. Nah, I'm playing.
I don't know how sensible I am. I have a pre-order for a Nintendo Switch right now. So.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Yes, get this man out of here. Why didn't somebody tell me this man was buying a Switch before he applied for this damn podcast? Yo, nah, I'm playing. Nah, the Switch. I tried it. I'm not gonna comment. That's a whole different show. I'm not gonna comment. I'm not gonna say none. I'm not gonna say nothing bad about Nintendo. Nick, stop. Don't say nothing bad about Nintendo tonight.
Nick, hold your tongue. Hold your tongue.
Yeah, fam. Thank you, Chris. Holding it now. All right, so let's move on because this is gonna be the last thing we are talking about tonight. Thank you guys so much for joining. Appreciate that. Make sure you guys hit that like button. We would appreciate that. But this is the last thing we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about the PS4 update 4.50.
Codename Sasuke. Shout out to
Sasuke. Yo, that would have been dope. What? Yeah, that was the codename Sasuke. That would have been dope name.
Okay.
That would have been a dope name. PS4 Sasuke update. He could have left out that 4.5, Jung. But we're going to talk about the update, these features and stuff. A lot of people, they're excited for this update. And some people, they're not so excited. They're basically like, well, this is too little too late. This is something that should have been as a feature on the PS4, in the beginning, or at least close to the beginning. So some of the people are kind of just spitting on the features. Some people are hyped, like I said. But I want to get you guys' opinion of these features. I'm going to share my screen again. Hopefully you guys out there, you have good bandwidth and you're able to keep up with this screen sharing action that we are doing on this podcast. You know what I'm saying? Because we're all about showing our worth out here in these streets. Let me know if you guys can see the screen.
I can see it. Let's see.
We're going to talk about these updates right quick. Get you guys' opinions on it and see if the community of haters out here are right. So,
Just a quick one, really quick in the chat. Adam asked us about Wildlands. We played the beta. We're not sure yet. So there you go, man. Just a quick recap.
Wildlands. Oh yeah. You played that, right?
Mm. Yep.
No, it was Cat.
Yeah,
it was Cat, Mr. Tactical. Mr. Tactical Shooter over here. That Wildlands. But the king of Indies though, so I don't play things like that. Nah, I'm playing. So this update. So first thing they got going is the external HDD support. Finally bringing that to PS4. That's something that Xbox One has had for quite some time. So a lot of people feel like this right here is just past due. This is nothing to be excited about. On the other hand, a lot of people feel like, thank you, PlayStation. We really appreciate you doing this for us. What do you guys think? Do you guys think this is just too little, too late?
No, I'm mega happy for this. I've just kind of got close to the end of my 1 terabyte. I know myself and Kev were chatting the other day. I've updated my hard drive to a what's it called? A hybrid drive. Yeah. So I can get a little bit of a faster loading time. And we'll come on to the thing a little bit later on, which I think everybody's looking forward to talking about, to do with loading times and everything else like that. But to have that extra storage and not have to grab it. I've already got kind of a 1 terabyte external storage sitting in my desk drawer. So I need to get that out and get it plugged in for that. I think that's a great add-on. Do you want me to talk about the other ones? Or are you going to move down?
We're going to move down. So real quick, Kev, too little, too late, or right on time?
So I don't by the notion of too little, too late only because. Well, let me back up. I think that it should have been added beforehand. I'm glad that we have it now. I think the too little, too late kind of doesn't matter, at least in the PlayStation sense, considering the sales numbers of the PlayStation. So I think that argument of too little, too late is kind of like, what does it matter? Because it clearly wasn't as huge of a deal breaker as people are making it out to be.
Right. So you're saying people were buying the consoles, so they really didn't care too much about not having external HDD support. Anyway.
Right. So yeah, I mean, too little, too late. Look at the 57 million units they've sold, and then tell me about too little, too late. So
look at him dropping bombs.
I just think that's a bit of a ridiculous, thing to point out. Like, again, I completely agree. It should have been there to begin with.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that. I don't think it was that big of a deal breaker for people, and clearly the sales show that as well.
Right. And for this right here, I do agree. It should have been there a long time ago. Right. It definitely should have. It's something easy they could have implemented, in my opinion. But for me, this right here isn't really that big of a deal for me because it's so easy to, remove the hard drive from the PS4 and just upgrade your hard drive. Like I've done that already, I think twice, and it's super easy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's nothing challenging or anything about it. So I was very content with doing that. This add-on, that's cool. Yeah, definitely. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sony for doing it finally. But it's not a real big deal to me. You know what I'm saying? Next, oh my gosh, custom wallpapers. Now this right here, I'm gonna say they definitely should have had this type of stuff like year one. Like, come on, bro. People bought themes and stuff because they couldn't, put their own wallpapers on here and they couldn't customize the PS4. Like a lot of the features on the PS4, the PS3 had, you know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of features that are lacking, on the PS4, the PS3 had. And it took them freaking 3 years to get custom wallpapers. Come on, fam. Come on.
Yeah, that's not
right.
good.
Yeah, I agree with that.
This right here, I'm gonna say it is too little, too late, in my opinion. It's insignificant. It's like
thing is, some of those themes are so bad as well. We were chatting earlier about like the quality of games needs to be controlled. The quality of themes and avatars need to be cold as well, man. Really bad.
They are
really bad. We should be able to add our own avatar picture as well, I think.
Right.
You know which one I'd have.
Yeah, God of War.
I've already got a God of War one actually. So, but I want a latest God of War one because I am a bald man with a beard. So I want that.
You look just like Kratos, dude.
Oh, thanks, man. I love you. You're my new favorite friend.
Just like him, man. You don't even have to like dress up cosplay, dog. You just go walking in there just as you, and everybody gonna be like Kratos.
Well, I'm going to the what am I going to? I'm going to EGX soon, so I'm thinking about just wearing a Hawaiian shirt and a pair of aviators and going as Max Payne. Dope. It's easy enough.
Dope.
Before we move on to the list,
go ahead.
I want to give B Money a shout out for Ni no Kuni 2. That game looks so good. They actually came out today saying that it's 45% complete. So we'll be waiting a little while longer, but shout out to Ni no Kuni.
Oh wow, 45% complete. Yeah, that game's gonna come out the same time as Kingdom Hearts 3. 2020, ladies and gentlemen.
Next to Death Stranding.
Maybe.
If we're lucky.
if we're lucky and alive. Quick menu refresh. Does anybody want to talk about that? I mean, that's really nothing.
It's fine. I'm in the beta for 4.5 right now.
Okay.
It's fine. Like it's not that big of a overhaul. They just overhauled the thing in the last update, so it's nothing crazy, but it's fine.
And then this simplified notifications list, is that anything like super significant from what you've seen in the beta?
Again, I don't think it's. I mean, it's helpful to be able to clear things out faster, but other than that, it's just more of the same. It's a little cleaner. That's about it.
Okay, yeah. And then next, post on PlayStation Network activity feeds. I think this is pretty dope. Being able to put your screenshots on there, GIFs, videos that you capture and stuff. That way you can make people aware of what you're doing, like, quickly. You know what I'm saying? I think that's pretty dope. I do like that add-on. Have you tried that one?
I have not tried that one, but I will look forward to doing that relatively soon.
And last but not least, Chris is hyped for this one. 3D Blu-rays on PlayStation 4. Okay. Why are you hyped for this, sir?
Because it's technology that nobody likes and nobody wants, but I am happy that they are combining the two. Some of the 3D stuff that they've got on like YouTube and stuff, it's pretty good fun. But when you watch a film, it's kind of like watching on an IMAX screen. It's just massive, and you've got the headphones into the surround sound. So to then have an added on extra of 3D, why not? It's all good fun. But I think last but not least is a certain thing I've got written in capitals in my notebook, and it's called boost mode. I want to know about boost mode,
aka beast mode.
Yeah, Adam in the chat was pretty pumped about boost mode and wanted to talk about that. So
boost mode, yeah. So boost mode is it is a feature on the PS4 Pro. Correct me if I'm saying anything that is not right, fellas. But boost mode is a feature on the PS4 Pro where basically you turn this thing on and it will enhance the games that are on PS4 that don't necessarily have the PS4 Pro patch. So it will enhance those games in such a way to where it's not really going to do anything as far as like make the graphics like super better. It's not going to give you 110 frames per second on all your games and all this other craziness. What it's designed to do is basically tap into the power of the Pro and allow your games to run smoother and better the way they were meant to be. So if a game is capped at 30 frames per second, you're going to get a steady 30 frames per second on that game. If it's capped at 60 frames per second, you're going to get a steady 60 frames per second on that game. So also the publisher Sony, they did state that you use this boost mode at your own risk. If it starts to really mess with your games or whatever, they recommend that you turn it off. Because it's not really a controlled thing from what I'm understanding. You basically, it's going to do really well on some games and some games it may not do so well with, but you use this as your own risk. I do like this because it is an option and options are always good. Us in the console world, we tend not to get as many options as, let's say, our PC brethren and sisterin. We don't get as many options. So anytime we get options in the console, where I consider that a victory. So I think boost mode is definitely a good thing. So for you, those of you who have a Pro, but you don't have a 4K TV and stuff like that, you're going to get some better performance out of your games to some degree. You know what I'm saying? So you don't need necessarily a PS4 Pro patch. So that's what boost mode is. So you guys, what did I leave out? Correct me if I'm wrong. What do you think about boost mode? I know Chris saw some games running in boost mode and things like that. You want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, really. It was frame rate. Things like older games, things like Drive Club, like if people are still playing that game, it had kind of a smoother frame rate.
No one is playing Drive Club. Not playing.
I played it the other day. I think I was on my own again with my PSVR and all that stuff.
Yep, you're the only one in the UK playing Drive Club and PSVR.
Oh, it's a lonely life, man. It's a lonely life. That's why I'm up at like 2:15 in the morning chatting to you guys, because you're the only ones that will talk to me.
Oh, damn.
I'm joking all about that one. I'd like to point out. But yeah, no, it looks like it improves the loading times as well of certain games. But yeah, like you were saying, frame stability, I think is wicked. I think it's yeah, I'm excited to try. I'm a Pro owner, so I'm excited to try that.
Nice. And Kev, are you a Pro owner as well?
I'm not. I'm rocking my original PlayStation
Me too,
4.
brother. We are both peasants. Peasantry, keep peasantry alive. Keep it alive. I got my original one that released on November of 2013.
Guys, if you are thinking about upgrading, you can still get a lot of money for your PS4. I got what would the calculation be? Almost just under $200.
You know what? I may actually upgrade now that they have this boost mode feature, because before I didn't upgrade because I don't have a 4K TV. So there was no reason for me to get, the 4K console, in the PS4 Pro. There was no reason for me to get it. So now I may get it because of boost mode, because I'm playing The Witcher 3, as you guys know, and I did see that is on the list of games that does benefit from this, basically in a lot of areas, which I do notice this too, like in a lot of swamp areas in The Witcher 3, the frames kind of dip a little bit. So you're going to get that steady 30 running consistently in The Witcher 3.
Check out some of the videos, mate. It looks like it's running on a PC.
Nice.
It looks really smooth.
Nice. That's what I want. Smooth Triss action. I mean, Witcher 3. Witcher 3 action, fighting with swords. Yes, that type of stuff.
The question is, can you be smooth enough with your answers to get her into bed? That's the question. You can get your smooth frame rate, but you got to bring your smooth lines.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, player. You know what I'm saying? All I got to do is act like me in the game, and we in there. You know what I'm saying? We in there. It's all it takes. But you know what? They also another game benefiting from this is that desperately needed it is Bloodborne. Even with the patches and stuff like that, it got a little better. But Bloodborne was a game that did suffer from frame rate drops and things like that. So Bloodborne is another one that is going to benefit in a big way with the boost mode. So definitely a good feature. I'm glad Sony definitely implemented them. Shout out to Mark Cerny, you know what I'm saying, the king of architects out here in these streets. Shout out to him, you know what I'm saying, for doing that.
Kitty's husband.
Yeah, Kitty's husband. That's Kitty's man. Kitty's man in him. Kev, you want to speak on boost mode, my brother?
I just think it's a great addition. Like you said, anytime you're able to offer more options to folks, especially in the console world, it's a good thing. Obviously, console gamers play on the console for a reason. They don't want to be hassled with like installing a bunch of drivers and nonsense like that. But again, giving people agency over how they play is always a good thing.
Right.
That's one of the best things about the Pro is just the options. And I think if you want a bit more, like we were saying with some of the games earlier, to have the option to change around how it looks, especially like Tomb Raider was a great example of that, where you could have the 60 frames per second and anti-aliasing turned on, or you can go the full-blown kind of checkerboard 4K. I like those options. I like those ones because we were saying earlier about Nioh, you're always going to go for the faster frame rate over that, and I think that to have those options is so good. Okay,
yeah, I'm definitely with that for sure. So the Pro might be a go for me. So I might go ahead and cop that with this latest update. I think it's a good update overall. And I'm saying, like I said, a lot of those features definitely should have been available at least year one, if not day one. I'm saying, Sony tends to drag their ass when it comes to features and things like that. And also, I kind of do understand why to an extent, not damage controlling them or anything like that. But I do understand why to an extent, because they basically they market this thing to basically the gamers that they're selling the console to. You know what I'm saying? Like the gamers are selling the console to, they really want games over features. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think any of us were sitting back playing our games like, damn, I really wish we had external HD support. Like, I'm sure people were like wishing for it or thinking about it maybe here and there, but ultimately, you know what I'm saying, we're not really thinking about all that. At least I'm not. When we get those features, that's great. It's cool. But long as this damn thing runs, plays games, drops the games I want, you know what I'm saying, ultimately I'm good with it. And I'm a simple man, you know what I'm saying? That's just me, but other people may feel different about it.
I've got an Xbox One, and some of the features that are dropping, like the external hard drive, the wallpapers, is some of the things I can do on that. and it's kind of like they're slowly just ticking off the list that what the ones got over the PlayStation, which isn't a lot. But you know what I mean. People have said to me, "Oh, why would you want a PlayStation? You can't put that. You can't do this or you can't do that." And they're starting to tick off a few of those boxes. All they need to do now is be able to change your PSN name. I don't need to change it personally. I don't think.
No, that's huge.
But I think a lot of people want to.
Yeah, no, people are going to jump in the streets and celebrate if that does happen. That's going to be huge. That's the update I think PlayStation gamers really do want. All this other stuff that we're getting and stuff, people are like, oh, that's cool that we're getting this, but they don't really they're not super caring about it. But that one right there, that name change, yeah, that's going to set it off.
Yeah, I think people want that one the most. And I don't understand why Sony hasn't put the resources in to make that happen, only because you can charge for that down the line. So I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, that's an easy, you want to change your name, pay $10 to change your name.
Kitty Powers.
Yeah, to Kitty Powers.
That's Mark Cerny's man in them. I mean, woman or whatever. Yeah, whatever Kitty is.
He's never going to put me on the payroll now, is he?
Nah, fam, you're done. You're done, fam. Nah, you're done.
Hey.
So that's gonna be it. Honestly, we've been going at it for over an hour or so. My man Chris, what time is it by you?
2:23 in the morning.
2:23 in the morning. Good gosh,
that's commitment. That's commitment.
That is dedication, man. That's dedication. So here's what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, I'm going to say thank you so much for joining us tonight. You know what I'm saying? This is episode 1 of the Trophy Light podcast. We really do appreciate you guys coming out. Make sure you hit that like button. We really appreciate that. Shout out to the chat. Those of you who came through, you know what I'm saying, dropping those dimes out here for us on our first episode. We have lost our virginity tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And you guys helped us lose our virginity.
To Kitty Powers.
To freaking Kitty Powers, bro.
It's our Kitty Power.
It is our Kitty Power, man. And we lost our virginity. You guys helped with that. We lost it live, and we appreciate you guys, you know what I'm saying, supporting us losing that virginity. So yeah, definitely been a great show. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do our outros and all that good stuff like traditional podcasters do. So Chris, tell us, you know what I'm saying, last things you want people to know about you, hear about you, where they can find you, all that good stuff.
Well, it's been a blast, guys. Thank you very much to the chat. Thank you very much, guys, for being good fun. You can catch me on Twitter at Stubbsy Viking, because they won't let me have the written in it because it's too long. God damn. So it can't be the same as my PSN. So Stubbsy is STUBBSY, and it's Viking. And then my PSN is Stubbsy again, the Viking this time. So, but yeah, awesome. Looking forward to the next one, guys.
Nice. Kev, let them know, Kev.
Well, first, thank you everybody in the chat for tuning in, and thank you to co-hosts here. This has been great, and looking forward to many more. You can find me on Twitter at Dark Tagger, and Dark Tagger is also my PSN ID.
Dope. Yeah, make sure you guys check for these guys for sure, man. Like I said, they are new to the inner circle, but these guys are definitely a welcome addition. Appreciate you guys joining. We are about to make history. Are you guys ready? You guys ready to make history?
Sure.
We've made history, haven't we? It's just past tense.
That's correct. Yeah.
I'm done. I'm no longer a virgin. It's amazing.
It is. We have made history tonight. We lost our virginity live. But yo, this is Nickodemus, the king of indies himself. And like I said, it's been a pleasure, you know what I'm saying, to have you guys on. An honor and a pleasure having you guys watch us, listen to us. Let us know what you think. Those of you who watch this later, if you watch the whole thing, let us know what you think in the comments below. Good or bad, positive, negative feedback, like my boy Fame says. leave it in the comments, and we definitely will respond to you. You know what I'm saying? But that's all for the Trophy Light Podcast. Episode 1 is in the books. And all I got to say is PlayStation is the best station, and we are the best nation. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. Shots freaking fired. We out of here, y'all.
Later.
Later.